Hello. Today we're going to be talking about how to make perfect curvy or wavy lines. So the drawing that you're seeing in front of you right now was made using charcoal and chalk pastel. And a drawing like this should be your final goal. But right now we're going to be practicing with just regular pencil, and then once you feel confident, you can move on to materials like this to make a drawing like so. And this technique of drawing different curvy lines will help you a lot throughout your whole drawing career, whether you'll be drawing scenes, landscapes, still lifes, or anything else. Before we start, you should already know that there are curvy lines and there are straight lines. This is fairly common knowledge. But right now, let's talk about some other properties of lines. So one property of different sorts of lines is hardness. Hardness is used in many different ways. For instance, when we have a cast shadow, you have to use a rough line in order to address its edges because the borders of a cast shadow are very visible during a bright light. How do we achieve different hardnesses of a line? Well, first of all, it's by the pencil. A 2B pencil will be lighter and softer than a regular number 2 pencil. Another thing, depending on how you hold your pencil, you will also get different results. If you hold the pencil almost vertically, you will get rougher lines. And if you hold it more and more horizontally, even out on its side, you will get softer lines. This is a very simple exercise that you can do numerous times and basically anywhere. This doesn't have to end with any specific drawing. This is just so you understand and feel different forms of lines. So that you understand when I push like this, or when I hold the pencil at this sort of angle, I will get this kind of line. And in this drawing, you have to have a combination of hard, soft, straight, and curvy lines. Figure out what proportion of them to each other you like, but in the end, you should have a more or less coherent drawing with different contrasting lines. Another technique that you can really practice during this exercise is your gradation. If you remember, we talked about how gradation is pulling a color from dark to light. Well, you can do the same exact thing with a single line. You can push down hard in the beginning and go lighter, 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 and lighter until you get to white, all in a single line. We talked about how angle affects the thickness and the intensity of the line, but what would happen if we put it almost parallel to the page? Well, then you'll get a nice light line that would almost look like a ribbon. And here's an exercise that I want you to try. Try moving around this line for as much as possible without letting go of the page. Keep in mind that the more lines we have on our paper, and especially in a certain area, the more dimensional this page seems, since the layering of lines always means, oh, some line's going to be in the front and some in the back. And this also will teach you a lot about dimension and intensity, something you will really know when starting to do shading on objects in still lifes, on landscapes, even in scenes or portraits. You can also practice your lines for our upcoming lessons about circles and ovals, since they're also soft lines that we just keep moving in the same general direction. You don't make a circle with a single line, nor can you make an oval with a single line. You make it with these multiple smooth lines. So this exercise is very important as it will teach you how to properly hold the pencil, what would be most comfortable for you, and what lines you will use for each different kind of drawing. So with that, we're done. I hope you make this exercise not just once, but numerous times. Feel free to add color. Feel free to add things like we did in our drawing of the underwater scene. Add whatever you feel. The main thing that I want you to practice is sharp lines, soft lines, straight lines, repeating lines, and the way that they interact in order to make a single composition, and the way you can use each and every line in the creation of your own drawing. I hope to see all of your exercises once you submit them to me. I know you can do this. Good luck. Goodbye.